for draft picks. This is about playing for victories.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said, he's always rush coming, and he's taken down. Melvin Ingram in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Jackson from the shotgun. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. A good pickup there at 22. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. They are the 22nd ranked unit against the run in the NFL.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They fake the give. Now Wentz into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Set! Green, 39!
And they'll run it here. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Jackson. And Robinson with a big catch. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Allen Robinson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Once again here on 2nd and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Flushed out right. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Wentz, and he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got this down to the 35. An Eagle 1st down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score, and we're back to Philadelphia after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Throwing now is Wentz. Out to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to stay up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson.
Still second down.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Jackson. It's complete to Robinson. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Saunders, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On play action, Wentz. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action here on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Let's go.
Play action. Now Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that one results in 35 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football. So
the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. Flush to his right. And he rifles one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing is Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from... And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Wentz. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscores. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
Now Jackson. And it's a short one here. Complete to the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now Jackson on first down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing is Jackson. Caught out left side by Robinson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
To me, that's a terrific run on first and goal of the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now Jackson on second down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet. And
he's got him in, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. "14 seconds, all that's left in this first half as they come up on first down. And they'll go on the ground. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where it was our visitors who were able to walk away with the road victory. 21-0, the final score. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously. Right? So you've got to get him in rhythm, and we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to them, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Looking downfield for Jones. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set. 319. 319.
Now back to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And the return will stop right around the 25. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
All right, here we go.
Jackson from the shotgun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Ajayi. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
On play action, they'll throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chandler Jones, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's the second sack of the game.